Hi, and welcome back to another episode of Feature Friday. I'm your host, Paul Hembekides, joined today by freshman runner Nick Lefavor. Nick, thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me, Paul.
Before we get involved in your student-athlete experience here at LaSalle, I like to hit the rewind button and go back to your days as a high school senior. You had the very unique and special opportunity to become immersed in something really unique, especially for someone in high school. Go ahead and take us through it.
Well, my senior year of high school, I had the opportunity to run for a Board of Education seat. Back in the 70s, Paul, there was a big push for more student representation on the Board of Ed and in the education decision-making process. As a result, it was decided that a student would serve as an advisor to the Board of Education. The position was so successful that within 5 years, the student had full voting rights. So that's meant that they were a full-fledged board member and they weren't just advisor anymore. They were voting on operating capital budgets, personnel decision, collective bargaining agreements, and curriculum changes. So last year, I ran for this position. I had to go through an extensive election process. It took about 7 months. I had to write a 6-minute speech and then recite it in front of 500 students. And then I had to be appointed by the governor's office. After that 7-month period, I was the new student member on the Board of Education in Anne Arundel County. I wasn't just representing students. I was more of a student perspective while representing the whole county.
I have in my notes here that this board that you were on oversaw 130 schools, 80,000 students, and 10,000 employees. As a high school senior, how can you even wrap your head around those?
It's tough at first, I'm going to be honest. It's very, very tough. Basically, you got to do your homework. I spent nights after nights up until the wee hours of the morning researching issues, and a lot of it was just field experience. I would go visit where these issues were. I'd go visit schools. I'd sit down with students and just talk, see what I could learn from them and what I could do for them on the Board of Education.
Well, on the heels of such an awesome experience, you obviously had college to get to. Why did you choose LaSalle?
I really looked at the location before I looked at the school. I really saw Philadelphia as a place where I could make a difference, a place where I could grow and learn and gather the most experience I could to be successful in my future. From there, I think it was an obvious choice between UPenn, Villanova. LaSalle was obvious.
And what are some of the tangible things you'd like to accomplish, in the next 3 years while you're here?
Ultimately, I really like to get involved in the school system and volunteer in the schools here, see what can be done, and take that experience to hopefully apply it to my education career in the future.
And lastly, you are a student athlete here. You're a middle distance runner. How have you enjoyed being a member of the cross country and track team so far?
It's an unparalleled experience being part of a team. They're basically my family right now. I couldn't think of college without them. And even the student athlete family as a whole, it's a big family, one big LaSalle Explorers family. And I think that's what makes college what it is. I couldn't picture myself anywhere else.
Thanks for sharing your experience with us today, Nick. On behalf of Nick Lefavor, I am Paul Hembekides, signing off on Feature Friday. See you next time.